Hello friends, my name is Odo, and in this video I will build the preset or one preset from my Freq split tutorial so that you can build it yourself. So let's get started. So here's a Polymer in default state. And I have to lower it a little bit so it fits to the level. Now it sounds like that. And additionally, I load a Freq split device. And it sounds like this. No difference. And now I just mute one container. Nice. And I lower the splits to 4 so that all the frequency spectrum is in those 4 containers. And now I switch it on to post. Then you see which container is muted or what happens here. And when I switch it on and off, you see it exactly. And it's very steep. And this is the advantage of the Spectral FFT device. And I use this fact that it is so steeply differentiated from each other, and I move the frequency through those containers. And this has a little bit hard effect. And it's sounding a little bit like a harp when the frequencies come in and go out the muted container. And now I'm moving the frequency through with a nudge. Through the different containers. That's it, basically it. That's everything. I just mute one container and I use this one because it's good audible, and I use pitches all over the frequency spectrum. And what I do additionally normally is to use a delay and a reverb just for the glitter, for the fairy dust, so it sounds so good. With the delay plus, the space, the blur character, and all default settings. Then I have this. And for that I don't have to do it by hand or manual. I use an LFO and modulate the nudge. So around 2 maybe. Turn down the frequency of the LFO. And now the LFO is doing what I did manual before. And that's it. That's basically it. Just bend and modulate from the tutorial. That was it. I did nothing at the Polymer. I have loaded the Freq split and muted a container and modulated with an LFO, the nudge a little bit, turned down the splits. And now you can do a lot of different things about that. And I prepared some notes here, and now I'm working with an LFO. I have here free. I could change it to note, so every new note the LFO is started again. For example, I use a fade in. With a delay in front of the fade in. I could change the LFO a little bit in character. I change it to sync, so it orientated at the arrangement. That shouldn't happen normally. It shouldn't reset all the time, but that could be a thing of the beta. It's not the thing I would expect as the difference of node and sync. So I use, for example, half note, fade a little bit down or completely off. And for example as well, I could use the phase to search better start point. I remove some high frequencies with a filter, use some resonance. Or here some more settings, like from the middle, from the left or from the right or to the right. Or use the fade in or the crossfade. There's a crossfade between all the containers or frequencies. And I could add an ADSR for using the crossface, for example. Then I modulate the crossfades completely, and use different settings. Very short attack and then decay. So this was it. I just used a synthesizer like the Polymer, put the Freq split, then put a reverb and delay at the end just to have some fairy dust and some glitter. And with the Freq split, I just muted one container and then moved the whole frequencies through the container with a nudge, and then with the help of an LFO, I changed the character of the LFO. I changed like the phase of the LFO. I did a lot of stuff for the movement, for very slow movement or faster movement, and tried to fit it in a rhythm. And that's it. That's not much. I didn't use the containers to put in some audio effects or any other complicated stuff. It's just muting one container and moving the frequency through this muted container. That's basically it. And I hoped you learned something. I hoped you got an idea what I did in the Freq split tutorial. And you can build it for yourself to fit the sound in your track. So thank you for your time and attention, and I hope to see you again in the next video. Stay healthy, save the future, take care, see you then. Ciao, ciao.